contest set for one fall is for the WWE Championship.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. It's the Big Alboski. It's Professor Keith. We're back from the 5 o'clock show with JT Cage. Our thanks to JT Cage and the Hat Guy for gracing us with their presence after a rough night last night at the 3WA. It's the 43rd anniversary show. But, Professor, we have Nathaniel Cunningham, Donny Bambino, my favorite tag team, the Bad Fellas. What's up, guys?
If we're your favorite tag team, why would you let that schmuck talk crap on us before he left?
First of all,
I can't stop that. I can't stop that.
You know
Well,
what?
somebody needs to stop him.
He had a rougher night than us. He lost his hardcore title night.
He totally did.
Yeah, at least we didn't lose nothing.
Okay. David Motorman's here. He says, great to see the Bad Boys are back in town tonight around the turnbuckle. Thanks, David.
Yeah, Bad Fellas.
Well, he's trying to do the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
I'm not a boy, I'm a man.
Okay,
Not-
well, you,
Fair point.
he's,
M.A.N..
you're a fella. You're one of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the Keith, though.
No? Why?
But
What do you got against the professor, Nathaniel?
He didn't take a bite out of my cannoli the last time I offered it. Okay?
That's
why.
Kind of true. That's
And
kind
he
of true.
doesn't
Well,
say we're his favorite tag team in 3WA.
I mean, is he diabetic? Maybe he can't have cannolis.
You can't have cannolis?
I plead the fifth.
All right,
Oh.
well, then I'm not a fan of the professor. Okay? If
I
you
mean,
can't
I
eat
tried one
cannolis,
of
you
the
can't be a fan of me.
I mean, I at least tried one of the dude's gummies.
That's a bad mistake.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I found out that later, but
Yeah.
You know.
When we found him wandering in the woods,
anyway. Last night, gentlemen, you guys were in a tag team match with Nice and Smooth. Your thoughts? We'll start with Donnie. What do you think, Don?
I think those idiots need their asses kicked. Okay? All right? That match was terrible. Okay? It was terrible. The ref didn't know what the hell he was doing, and they cheated to beat us. Okay? You've seen it. Everybody's seen it. They cheated to beat us. You've seen
Absolutely.
how long they were in that ring.
Flagrant double teaming. I said it on commentary. It was ridiculous that referee allowed that so much double teaming by Nice and Smooth.
I can't believe it.
there definitely was problems with the officiating.
See, even the professor admits it.
I do. I have to admit it. That was AEW.
I want the professor to admit that we got cheated out of that match.
Yeah.
We should have won that.
I mean, it's a matter of opinion, but like I say, you guys are absolutely 100%
This
right.
is why I don't like this guy.
The
This is why I
officiating
don't like
was
this guy.
definitely off.
Shelby Waters is here, and she says maybe the professor should try the cannoli roll.
I think that's a good idea. I
One-on-one.
think that's a good idea.
Donnie
Now, you want to go one-on-one with me, Professor?
Absolutely not. I will die.
That's a good choice. That's a smart choice.
Yeah. Every so often, I do make good choices.
All right, so despite the fact you guys lost, I thought it was a really good match. I thought you guys looked really good out there, and the professor and I mentioned before the match started that one of these teams are both, vying for the 3WA tag team titles. Do you guys see that in your future or near future?
100%. And you know what? After the match, I heard Trace and Tom talking in the back, which I think is bullshit, that they're number one ranking for the tag team titles. I think it's the Bad Fellas. We've been there for almost a year. We have been consistent. We haven't missed a goddamn show.
Hey, look at how many times we beat up the what are they? The Happy Family, whatever the hell they are.
The original family.
Yeah. Look at how many times we beat them up. We come this close to beating them every time.
It's a fair
And we're
point.
not your number one contenders? Come on.
Well, I mean, I remember at Norristown Throwdown, like Nathaniel Cunningham got flattened like a pancake by Malcolm King. I remember that.
Yeah. But did you remember what the lead up to that was? Did you see me spear that big balloon of a man off of his feet? Yeah.
I gotta tell you, that impressed me. That impressed me. And I don't impress easy. Ask the professor; he'll tell you.
And I smacked the taste right out of that man's mouth.
Yeah, he did.
Mhm.
I mean, I would never slap Mountain King if I mean that, but that's me. But
That's the difference between you and I.
right. But I mean, you know, I got a question because Keith knows that the original family are kind of adopting the Freebird rule, right? Because you could have like Malcolm King or Tyler Sims defend the titles, or you could have Malcolm King and JT Cage defend the titles. Do you have a preference and why?
I want my hands on JT Cage. We both want our hands on JT
Everybody
Cage.
hates
I want
JT
to wrap
Cage.
my hands around his throat. Shut that man up for good. I'll
Well,
tell
he
you
had
what.
a rough night, man. He
has
lost
a
the
lot of
hardcore
pressure on
title.
And he's going to lose the tag titles, too.
I want JT Cage and Malcolm King. That's
Okay.
Oh, you know, after
Okay.
last night and what happened with Tyler Sims, you wonder how quick Tyler Sims is going to be to invoke any kind of Freebird rule, you know?
Well,
know,
you
that
see,
guy-
Professor, don't start talking about the cracks in the foundation. That
I'm
got
just
you in
saying.
trouble in the 5 o'clock hour. You almost gave the hat guy a coronary.
You know, I agree. I
Lord,
agree with
lost
Professor
so
on that
much.
one. I agree
You
with
agree?
Professor on
You
that
agree
one.
with him?
Yep.
That there's
Yep.
cracks in the foundation of the,
Oh,
of the
I
original
definitely
family?
do. And Hat Guy doesn't shut up. I don't like him either.
Nope.
Well, I can't deny that. I mean, you know.
I counted to 15 on that pinfall, and the hat guy was up there on the apron, and he screwed his man out of the title, bottom line.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Tyler Sims might be the uncrowned champion if it wasn't for Hat Guy. That's no denying that.
Champion right now.
And
He
the
would be.
crack is just big enough in the foundation that we're going to slip our way in and take those tag titles. Watch.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
I hear no lies.
Nope.
Meanwhile, guys, you also are involved, very heavily involved with Higher Ground. Can we talk about that for a little bit?
We're the
High Ground
top
Pro
tag-
Wrestling, yeah.
Yeah, top tag team there. And you know what? On June 10th, we go one-on-one again with Nice and Smooth. This time, we're going to
Really?
beat this is a fact.
Oh, this time we know what we're doing.
Yep.
We have their number. All we need is one match. Listen, I say it all the time. Win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter. You're leaving with a broken jaw, okay? I promise you that. The Don always has a plan. And first time, sometimes you got to lose just to get that plan better.
It's a fair point.
Okay, so it seems like, you know, it's one thing to have one match with these guys, but it seems like you guys are budding a rivalry with this team, no?
Oh, I'm trying to. I don't like these cats. I do not like them.
Why?
Because they walk around like there's some higher power or some crap. Nah, look at them. They're just a bunch of pretty boys in little underwear.
They're not even nice
Huh?
and smooth. They're
No.
No.
punch
How
Yeah,
would you
let
know
the
that?
rough-
How would you
How
know
about- how
that,
about this?
Nathaniel?
just by the looks of them.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to know why you would know that. Never
I'll
mind.
tell you what. Nice and Smooth has nothing on the rough bad fellas. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly, they've been an impressive duo since they've come together.
No, they haven't.
They impressed me once.
Nope.
Well, I'm also talking about you, gentlemen. You've been an impressive duo since you've come together. Fans
You're
may
damn
not
right we have.
agree with your tactics, but you guys are solid as solid can be.
Thank you.
Speaking of the fans, Professor, it seems like these guys get under the skin of the fans, especially at 3WA, because they don't, before they even do anything, their music hits, they come out. The fans are already on them before they even walk through the curtain. Like, what's that about, Don?
I don't care about any single person in that ring. I don't care. I don't care about any fan sitting alongside there. Okay, they can all eat it. Okay, I don't care.
Made that
Nathaniel?
abundantly clear.
Me and Donny talked about this. We love wrestling in front of y'all hillbillies. You know why? Because it makes us look 10 times better.
Yeah, it does.
Hillbillies. What about the Higher Ground crowd? Is that a different crowd, a different type of crowd? Do you have a different response from them or no?
Nope.
No,
Same
I'll
response.
take class hillbillies.
They're hillbillies with a little bit of money in their pocket.
Yep, that's it. Mid-class hillbillies. Y'all are the lower
So
class.
mid-class hillbillies, yeah. Like, they don't live in the farm, they live up in the mountains.
Pretty
Mhm.
much. Pretty much.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, man. Before we get kicked off the air for being politically incorrect, so you guys are a few years in now. You guys are really impressing, starting to turn some heads in other places. Has there been any other place that you want to wrestle that you haven't wrestled yet, or teams out there that you haven't wrestled yet? Because you first got into the business, you guys were singles guys, and now you just got this Bad Fellas thing rolling. So is there any teams out there you got your eyes on, not mentioned, not nice and smooth?
What are you thinking, Nate?
I'm thinking definitely South Philly's finest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that's a name right there. I got something to say about that.
Blue and Gold.
Blue and Gold. I like that one.
I know blue and gold.
I can't think of any other tag teams that would be great for us right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me go back to South Philly's finest, all right? Because I was announcing a SWO show at Renegers Middle School where South Philly's finest took on Dog Nation. You guys know Dog Nation. And I mean, honestly, I know Keith would disagree with me, but in 3WA, because Dog Nation is one of the most hated teams in 3WA, as are you guys. But I'd love to see me some Dog Nation versus Bad Fellas.
Yeah.
But that aside, South Philly's finest are no joke. Okay, those guys are two of the toughest guys I've ever met in my life.
Are you saying we're jokes?
I'm not saying that. You gotta
You
let me
better not be
finish.
saying we're jokes.
Let me finish. So they wanted me to announce them South Philly's finest SPF. And I did it the other way around. I did SPF, South Philly's finest. And after the match was over, one of those jabronis slapped me in the back of the head as hard as he could because I didn't get it right. So I'm saying to you, as a favor here, get your hands on some South Philly's finest and kick their ass, please.
Oh,
I hope
listen.
they don't see this.
That's it. Favors come with price tags, buddy.
They can see this. They don't care.
Favors
they don't
come with
care.
price tags. Okay? Favors come with price tags. I don't care who we beat down. Okay? But you need to know that you got to put your money where your mouth is. Okay?
Well,
I
we'll
need
see
some
how
cash, and then maybe.
the professor. Professor
capital.
knows I'm on the original family payroll, so he knows I got to spend them checks somewhere.
I think you'll cause yourself a new set of problems if they find out you're spending your checks with the
See,
Bad Fellas.
Piranha knows he was there. He saw them. Piranha was there. Piranha
Apparently he's
saw
still
them
laughing.
slap the guy. I don't know if it was Luca Brazzi or the other jabroni. What's his name? Jimmy Conway. I don't know which one it was, but they slapped me in the back of the head, Professor.
Keep calling them jabronis. They'll love that the next time they see you.
They're more
Yeah.
like they're Goonie.
Nah, they're more like Goombas. Call me Mario because I'll be stepping on their heads. Okay?
All right, I followed
Let's try
that
to get
one.
another DMCA. Huh?
I was actually going to say that now that you bring that up, you guys have had some problems with Nintendo
Yeah.
recently.
Listen, Nintendo of America. What the hell? Huh? 15%. That's fair use, buddy. And
Me
they
and
want to
best
take
friend
my
have
logo
characters
down.
now. We have characters in Nintendo. We just bought ourselves
Yeah.
last night down at 3WA. Y'all love us that much to even give us characters.
Mm-hmm. They DMCA'd us, they cease and desisted us, and claimed our image as theirs, which means that the super bad fellas are now a part of Nintendo. So that's what you get, guys.
Yeah, that
Wanna
kind
much-
of tracks.
I don't know what to say to that. Really, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Oh, you hadn't followed that, Al? I was following.
No,
that.
I didn't know what you guys were talking about for a second, but then I realized. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
First they
My
came
goodness.
for Jeffy, and then they
Yeah.
came for the
We're
Bad
getting
Fellas.
so big that Nintendo wants to try
You
to take
did
us down.
see that. He said he didn't see that. Oh wait, yeah, no, wild. That's right. He was in the back, and it was out on the floor. So yeah, you might not have seen. You were there, but you did
I
not.
think they're
see it.
poking holes in your story there.
A little bit.
Are you sure this happened?
Mm.
Oh, I'm sure it happened, or maybe I just don't remember it happening because he hit me that hard.
You probably ate one of the dude's gummies again.
Like
Yeah,
the last
probably.
time, maybe, but the last time that I got hit that hard was by like my old man when I was like 5 years old. Like so, I digress. So, what else? What else you guys want to talk about? Really, you know, what I mean, I'm gonna pull Cody Rhodes here. Like, what do you guys want to talk about? Kind of thing.
I want to talk about why we don't have a title yet. That's what
Yeah.
I want to talk about. Where's our championship? Huh?
I don't know.
Where's our championships? We haven't even been put in real matches for championships. Why is that? Why is
I don't
that?
know.
Anywhere we go, why is that? We put in the work. The fans hate us. Who cares?
They
Who
do.
cares what they think? Their opinion shouldn't matter, okay? But we put in work. We hurt people. Where's our titles? Where's our shot? Where's our opportunities? We don't
Well,
have
it's
them.
funny that you mentioned that because we debuted a brand new 3WA championship last night in the form of the 3WA Carnage Championship. Would either one of you be interested in that?
We both would. We both would.
Yeah.
And we'll be right alongside one another.
But see, the problem is
It's a
is
singles
that
title.
it's a singles title, but if there's a tournament or a battle royal, you guys will end up having to possibly face each other, you know, in said tournament or battle royal.
I'm going to put it to you this way. I'll put it to you this way, right? We're a tag team, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But we're more than a tag team. We're best friends. That's why we're called the Bad Fellas. BF, best friends, okay?
Okay.
We will never, and I mean never, turn on each other, okay? We've proven that at PCWA. Huh? They put us in a triple threat for some title,
Yeah.
okay? And you know what I did? I beat the brakes off of that fool, and I let Mr. Cunningham take the pin. You want to know why? Because we're friends, okay? So if we get put together in that tournament, just know one of us is walking out, and it's because the other one said so.
Yep.
Professor, you agree with that or disagree with that?
I mean, it's a smart strategy to have your success is my success in a singles title situation. If you know you've got somebody watching your back that unjealously is fine being the guy walking behind, sees you with the title, no jealousy there, no problems, no dissension, no thought.
Because I'll tell you what's happening.
That should be me.
I'll tell you what.
That's an advantage.
I'll give you the plan, all right? I take your little Carnage title, okay?
Mhm.
And now that I have that Carnage title, now we have pull. And I think
True.
I'll be the first Carnage champion.
Yes.
And my friend over here, Mr. Cunningham, can be the first ever women's champion because he clearly didn't lose that match against them.
And you know what? Autumn Breeze, I can't stand her. She pulled on my tights and got the 3 count, and I should have won that title.
What did you? Wait a minute. Wait. Didn't she win that match?
She did.
Correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
because she cheated.
She
She
cheated.
cheated to win that match.
She hooked
What?
the tight.
She cheated to win that match. So I'm telling you right now, you're looking at your future Carnage champion and your
Okay.
future women's champion.
Because I said so. That's what
That'd
I
be
want.
interesting. So you want a rematch with
White
Autumn Breeze? Is that a challenge? Because Autumn Breeze watches this quite often, I know. So
Someone's
Are you-
got
Oh, we're
are you
challenging
openly-
everybody.
you're challenging Autumn Breeze straight up?
Yep. And you know what, Paul? I hope you're watching. Make this match official. Make this match official. Nathaniel Cunningham versus Autumn Breeze for the Triple WA Women's Championship.
Breaking.
I got
Your
a que- I
brand
got a
new Carnage
question.
champion to be sitting ringside.
I got a question about that. Let's just play this out for a second.
Mhm.
So let's just say you are granted that match, and say you are the one that ends the over 1 year reign of Autumn Breeze, and you are the new 3WA Women's Champion.
Mhm.
Do you realize that there's somebody that you know named Shelby Waters who also wants that championship?
You know what? She's hurt right
And
now.
you would
She's hurt.
Yes.
So I got no
She's not
press box.
medically cleared.
And I've beat her once, so I'll beat her again.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, because she's just as hungry as you guys are. So there's no doubt in my mind that she wouldn't want a shot if you got it. She don't friends or no, whoever you are, it doesn't matter. When you're in that ring, it's business, and then she's gonna handle her business because I know she can.
I just hope she's not watching this.
Right into that mat.
She commented earlier, Keith. She's watching. She commented earlier. She wanted to put you in the cannoli roller. No? See?
I do remember that.
Well,
Okay.
maybe Donny will hit her with the cannoli roller and shut her blue haired up.
Wow.
Maybe I will.
Wow.
It's a bit
Unbelievable.
Listen. Man and woman, it don't matter. Legally, he can compete for the title. So why does it matter?
Yeah, there's nothing in the rule book. You did prove that.
Legally compete for the title.
So anybody can get it. It don't matter.
What in the hell is going on with the rules of your state athletic commission now?
My state? Oh, because you're playing the Jersey boy card on me now.
Pennsylvania.
I'll even put a wig on. If that'll make everyone happy, I'll put a wig on, and I'll still be.
You said you'd put a dress on too.
No problem.
Oh
If I'm gonna win a woman champion, I'll do it.
2.0.
It's like Santina Morella.
Yeah.
All right, so I tell you, I tell you what, I'm gonna drop that subject, but we're Professor changed the subject.
So obviously, we know you guys are not averse to singles titles.
No.
Winning those as well as winning the tag team championship. Now, with JT Cage having lost the hardcore title, that says to me, and perhaps you guys are getting the same signal of now that he doesn't have the distraction of the hardcore title, that we're going to see a little more focus on the tag team titles, because let's face it, part of why the original family has those titles, in my opinion, is because they won them and they've been very lax about defending them. I think we've only seen one or two title defenses since then, and usually we've got Malcolm King in a singles match, JT Cage in a singles match, Tyler Sims in a singles match, and that precludes them from defending the tag team titles. So whether people want to argue or not about win-loss records or whatever, frankly, I don't think the champions are going out there and giving you guys, or Nice and Smooth, or any other tag team in 3WA a fair chance at the titles right now. Do you guys think now that JT Cage is unencumbered of that hardcore title, that's going to change? That's, you guys are now going to have that opportunity to get more shots at the tag team titles?
Go ahead, Cunningham. You can take this one.
100%. But now that we know how much of a crack is in that foundation, we have a plan. We will walk away with those tag team titles as well. Easily. We won't even break a sweat out there. And that's a promise.
Parada's here. He says, why do you want to be women's champion?
Just so I
Because it looks
that you can't beat me for it. Because Prince Piranha can't even touch me. I would squash that boy so quick, he won't even know what hit him.
That's bold.
Wow, good.
we want.
Wow, good luck.
We want all the smoke.
We
Okay,
want all
that's
the
why we
smoke.
did this. That's why we did this. We want anybody to try to test us. That's it. Test us. Okay.
Well,
and
he
see
would
what
test
happens.
you because, I mean, he is a multi-decorated champion over the past 8 years.
Hey,
Mhm.
listen, I've taken down bigger and better. That's all I'm saying. Travis Dorian took him down. Wrestled Andy Header, took him down. There's no one I can't take down. So if he wants to step up to the plate, by all means. If you're feeling froggy, leap, boy.
Oh my God, he's the.
Known
I-
Piranha.
I believe he is the current SWO Uprising champion, right, Professor? I believe,
He
yes.
is reigning and defending. Yes, he is.
Might as well go over there and take that too, right, Don?
Maybe.
Oh, I'd love to see you guys show up in Seven Valleys. I mean, that's a different world down there. I would love for you to show up there. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, and then you would take on some pretty. They got some pretty good teams there, including the current tag team champions, which you guys know. I mean, you guys know one of them. You know Tom Mitchell. His tag team partner there is Greg the Mechanic Manuel. So you have that.
I've seen him a couple times.
And they are known as Full Throttle, and that they're a hell of a tag team. So, good luck with that.
Every time I've watched Greg, I've never seen him do a gut wrench. It'd be on brand. Never seen that.
All right, not better than me, but this is your interview, so let's hear more about your career. So, we could take everybody back to when you guys got started. How long ago did you get started, and how did you how did you break into the business? Like, everybody loves to hear that story. It's different for everybody. How'd that happen for you guys?
Good, you
You
can
go
start.
first.
Oh, you want me to go first? All right.
You go
Well,
first, man.
They're fighting over who goes first, Keith.
we're not fighting.
They're not fighting. They're trying to be gracious.
Civil.
Yeah, civil. Well, I started a little while back. I made my professional wrestling debut almost a year ago now. It's crazy. No, a little over a year. A little over a year. Because I made my 3WA debut almost a year ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up on a year. And since I debuted here, I've been unstoppable. Okay? It doesn't matter if I win, lose, don't matter. I make my point. I prove my point. I hurt somebody in that match. And I've proved that I'm a dominating force. And maybe halfway through there, I found Mr. Cunningham. We started training a lot more together. And I realized we're more similar than we are different.
Yeah.
We're just two bad guys trying to get something. Don't know what it is, but we're trying to get something. How do you feel about that, Cunningham?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I've been doing this I just hit my 4 years. I've been wrestling shows for 2 now, and I picked up Donny on the way, and we just kind of helped each other out. And now we're just like inseparable. No one can come between bad fellas. Not a chance. And once we get gold around our waist, it'll be much, much better.
Are you looking to expand? I mean, of outside your wheelhouse? I mean, to me, it sounds like you guys have wrestling mostly in, and we lost Nathaniel Cunningham. I know he's coming back, so just
I'll be
hang
back
tight.
for sure.
That's fine. I can handle it.
Yeah, you can handle it. I know you can. Are you looking to expand out more? Is what I'm trying to say to other feds out there, because believe it or not, there are more out there than you even could possibly know in the states of PA and Jersey alone.
Yeah, no, of course. We're always trying to look to expand. We need the bad fellas to be a present in any promotion that'll have us. Okay? We'll go anywhere. It doesn't matter. We do actually have a couple of bookings coming up soon down south. So I do know that. We're trying to expand. We're going to get the bad fellas name everywhere.
Right.
Now, speaking of expansion, I know from talking to you guys, you're not just expanding in ring in terms of your bookings, but also, especially for High Ground, you guys are getting involved in some more backstage stuff, helping put shows together, helping getting buildings booked, stuff like that. Kind of talk about that a little bit. Like, what's that experience like to get into kind of the promotional end of it and sort of learn the nuts and bolts of how it's put together? Do you look at that as like, hey, when this in-ring thing is done, maybe I'm learning a trade here that I really like and something that I maybe really want to get into once the wheels fall off and I can't do it physically anymore?
Yeah, so normally I'm not too big into the backstage stuff, but Cunningham is. And it's a big opportunity to be able to do something after this. Because sometimes it doesn't matter who you are, your body stops going at some point.
Right.
So there's always got to be a backup plan. And backstage will probably be the best backup plan.
Now, Nathaniel's more into, like you said, putting the shows together and doing the backstage stuff. So for you, are you thinking about maybe something more hands-on, maybe being a coach, something like that? Where do you envision yourself after it's all said and done? I know it's a ways off yet, but
I was about to say, I'm going to have to get a lot more experience before I can even come to think about being a coach. But, maybe once I get seasoned a little and, I have a decent bit under my weight, maybe be a coach, help train kids, but I don't see that anytime near.
No, it's going to be a while yet.
It's going to be a long while.
Piranha's here. He said, I'd love to wrestle either one of you guys.
We would do it. We would do it in a heartbeat. Why not? Why not?
100%.
We love all challenges.
Bring it to
100%.
7 Valleys.
We've been trying to go there, and we haven't got confirmation to come down. So maybe we'll just take a ride and show up.
I mean, yeah, you can. I mean, you guys know Wolfman from 3WA. Wolfman is there. He's part of SWO, so he can introduce you to some of the guys, and you never know what might happen. I don't know. It's weird, but it's a great place, great crowd. They're always hot. They're always loud and proud and crazy, and they're fun for everybody involved. Whether you're a fan sitting in the ring and you're part of it, or sitting there watching and part of it, or whether you're in the ring, those fans are electric. So they love their SWO. So anybody that gets into that ring, man, they're gonna give you, they're gonna let you know how they feel, whether they hate you, whether they love you, what they're gonna let you know.
It's a hike, but it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Dom. You hop in the car.
And that's the thing about this business. That's the thing about this business is, guys, and that's what I was trying to get at. You know, there are things in life that happens, and when you want to make it in this business, like you might be able to just hop in a car and go, and then there'll be times where you might not be able to do that. While you're young and while you're fresh and while you're new and while everybody's starting to get to know who you guys are, now's the time to do that. Now's the time to get out there and try to expand your reach, so to speak. Only, if anything, to pick the brains of different wrestlers who have been around for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, if anything, because I know you have your trainer. He's been in the business for a long time, and you got other guys that you work with or work against that you have talked to. But when you go to different places, there are guys out there you're like, wow, who you might not have never met if you didn't go out there and wrestle somewhere, outside your wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I agree.
There's been a lot of wrestlers that I've met that I've never even known. Never even knew they existed. Like recently I wrestled at Smashmaster Wrestling.
Yeah.
And we wrestled a couple guys from Pittsburgh. So it's like I'm meeting all different types of people. It's just trying to get your name out there.
Yeah.
And like I said, the Bad Fellas are going to be worldwide.
Yep.
I want that name out there.
I hope you pick the brain of Uncle Masty while you're up there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, and he loves giving advice and things like that, and loves to talk. Me and Keith had him on, and we asked him one question, I swear, maybe two, and he talked for about 45 minutes straight. So
the majority of that roster has a lot of information on it.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's true. Yes, there's a lot of veterans there. A lot of guys have been around for a while, and I mean, there's CCW out in Harrisburg. There's AXW in Hamburg. Pennsylvania is loaded with There's RCW down in Birdsboro, whatever. But there's a lot that you guys can venture around and check out, and maybe some of them might not be for you, and maybe some of them might be for you. And then you talked about gold. Maybe wouldn't it be cool if you had gold in like 3 or 4 feds at the same time? You know what I mean? Like, because then you're on the show, because you got to defend them damn titles, whether it be tag team championships, whether it be singles championships, whatever. So you guys are right there doing it. So a few years in, because when we first met you guys and talked to you guys, we just got a glimpse of you for the first time just a couple years ago. And now, from where you were then to where you are now, how do you feel you guys are in your journey so far? And what would you like to do on the end of the road by the time you're done, where your body says, look, you can't do this shit no more? What do you want to accomplish before that happens?
Go, you take this one.
I think for me, looking back on myself, I wasn't as well-rounded as I am now.
Mm-hmm.
But now, having the experience that is behind me, I feel like I've grown so much. And working with Donny, we're just so cohesive. And I think after it's all said and done, I might want to open my own promotion. Maybe one day. Who knows?
Okay.
I mean, you're getting your feet wet with that now. I know you were kind of out as we were asking that question, talking to Donny about it. I know you're getting the experience, having talked to you, of trying to put shows together, book buildings, get doctors, get the nuts and bolts, everything that goes into that. And I mean, is that an experience you're enjoying? I mean, I'm sure there's frustrations with it, but overall, is it something that you feel like is worthwhile? And maybe you could see yourself later on going like, when this is exclusively something I have time for, does that feel like something, even with the frustrations, you're like, man, it's rewarding, I want to keep doing that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
Piranha's back. He's like, "How old are you all? You guys can answer that or not answer that, or you could say I'm under 30." I don't know.
I'm 23.
I'm 24.
guys
There
are
you go.
babies.
They're babies.
They're babies.
Professor, I'm pretty sure you just called the bad fellas babies. It's on the record.
No, I don't mean it like that. I think they know what I mean.
No,
We got
we're
we
still
have so
young.
much more time to-
I missed my 20s. I miss
Trust
them
me,
more
yeah.
and more every day.
Trust me. All right.
Yeah.
I'm 47. 47. So I was in my 20s, back before you guys were born. So
Yeah.
but that's that. But anyway, yeah, I miss my 20s as well. So that the good news is that you guys are at the age you guys are, you have lots of time to make this happen. You guys lots of time to make Bad Fellas a household name. And I can't wait to be a small part of that. Keith and I have been calling a lot of your matches in 3WA. And obviously, we want to try to help you guys out as far as higher ground goes. Also, now that we've gotten to know you guys personally, we're going to be keeping tabs on wherever else you go, PCWA, blah, 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 down the road, whatever. And I know Keith will echo this, but I wish nothing but the best for you guys. Whether you're loved or whether you're hated, as long as you're remembered,
Yep,
that's what matters.
Get them
absolutely.
bookings. Keep pounding.
That's exactly it. And it's just that's the goal, is to just be a household name. I want the Bad Fellas name out there. I want Donny to be known. I want Nathaniel Cunningham to be known. I just want us to be known. Because tomorrow's not promised.
No.
But if I wake up tomorrow, just know I will be in your face telling you why you should love me.
There you go.
Piranha says very young. I can see y'all doing big stuff.
We appreciate it.
Too.
We definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in the business now for almost 10 years, so he's really, he's around the 8 or 9 year mark, I believe. But he's always pops on, gives young guys advice. I appreciate Piranha for doing that. Sometimes he does pop in there. So does another friend of ours, Greg the Thundercat Winters, who's down in Alabama. He's coming up to SWO in June.
Yep.
The professor's actually picking him up from the airport, and I'm housing the dude so that he can go see an SWO show. And I mean, if they book him, that's a bonus. But
maybe we can sneak him on there.
Yeah, I mean, if they book him, that's great. If not, but like I said, you guys joked around earlier about jumping in a car. I strongly urge you to do that, if anything, to get your foot in the door there, because they're a well organized group. They are very well organized with their video, with their TV, with all that stuff, and everybody. Kudos to everybody involved with SWO, because they do a fantastic job. Not saying 3WA doesn't, because 3WA is near and dear to me and Keith's heart.
I gotta put up Piranha's comment. I'm sorry.
Piranha,
I was popping.
Piranha, you were 27 5 years ago. Shut up. No, I know he's 27. We were acting like he's the old man in the room.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
He's one of the nicest guys in the business.
Well, I mean, that shows you right there. He started almost right out of high school. He started wrestling.
Pretty much. Yeah, he's probably wrestling illegally. Lying about his age.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But I mean, he's a phenomenal athlete and a good guy, and you guys need to get to know him. And if you got a chance to wrestle him, either one of you, I'd pay to see that. I'd pay to see a triple threat between the three of you. I mean, you guys, he is a phenomenal athlete, and he's always fun to watch in the ring, and he's very humble too. Like, he's not, as good as he is, you would think he'd have an ego the size of Pennsylvania, but he doesn't. He's really, really humble guy. So
he's apologized to me for not hitting me on a high five or not shaking my hand. I'm like, dude, who the fuck am I? Like, come on. But no, he really, seriously, he he takes it personal, and I'm like, dude, who am I?
Yeah.
You know that you need to worry about that, but just
So
classy guy.
So we talked about your career, how you guys broke in. We talked about what's going on now. Let's talk about the future a little bit, okay? And what I mean by that is we already talked about the fact that you want Bad Fellas to be a household name. We know that. And you're going to try to do what you got to do. Not try. You're going to do what you got to do to make that happen. That's the dream. Every wrestler out there who breaks into this business on the independent scene, and if they say that they don't, they're a liar. But every independent wrestler that breaks on this scene sees himself, if I work really hard, I can get signed by maybe Impact or AEW or WWE. Is there current talent in any of those places that are on TV every damn week that you guys look at yourselves and say, you know what? The Bad Fellas and that team would be a really good match. Like, is there a team out there that's working right now that's on TV all the time, no matter what fed they wrestle for?
I'd say the Usos.
Okay.
That'd be a great match.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
I can
even
work.
Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Zayn and Owens is a great choice because you guys would match up really well because you've got a similar dynamic going on. You've got the power and you've got the speed and the finesse guy. Yeah,
I love wrestling matches like that. Anytime we do tag matches, I like when it lines up like that, where it's just a mirror.
It's great for the psychology and the story.
Yeah, it's really good for that. Because I mean, when we wrestle, the majority of it is psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't do a lot. We have a couple flashy moves, but that's really it.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. And that's what a lot of guys don't learn nowadays. It's refreshing to hear guys of your age say that, because a lot of guys your age don't say that, and they're trying to push the envelope and do more and more and more and more stuff that shortens careers.
Yep.
Gotta get my shit in, bro. Gotta get my shit in.
No, but we don't need to do that.
No.
We're here to tell a story and to entertain you guys. And if we're doing our jobs and you get up and boo us, well, we did our job for the night. That's all we need.
Mm-hmm. You guys hear the crowd reactions. We barely do anything in those matches. You call them all the time.
Yep.
But you see how invested the crowd is?
Mm-hmm.
They get in your face. They actually want to fight you. Like they get in your face.
I'm not even kidding. Okay, this is off script. There is a group of guys there that they have made it their mission to just piss me off as much as possible.
I know exactly.
I know you guys know who we're talking about, because he gets in my face every time I'm there. He gets in my face every time I'm there. And I believe we were going over the match before we went in. And he came outside and he got right in my face. He goes, "I'm gonna boo you so bad tonight. I'm gonna make sure you try to punch me." And I'm like, "I will punch you. Like, if you get any closer, I will hit you. I will put my hands on you."
Those guys approached us because they love the business. They love the 3WA. They love getting on your guys' cases.
Yeah.
They love the business so much that they want to get involved. And Keith and I said, well, the best advice we can give you is go get trained.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't go to Dino and say, "Hey man, we love this business. We want to get in the ring." No. Like, go find training.
Yeah, don't assume you can do what we did. We're too schmuck.
The thing is
God.
Well, no, what we did, Keith, is broadcasting. That's that's different. Okay,
I mean, even if you're looking at that, it's like that's two schmucks that got insanely locked.
You put out the broad strokes. Do not get in a ring if you are not trained.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you get in the ring, I don't know about anybody else in that ring except for myself, but I can tell you right now, I wrestled in high school. I boxed, and I did mixed martial arts. I will physically beat your ass if you get in a ring with me and try to fuck with me.
Do you have a boxing record?
No, I don't have a boxing record.
I just wondered. I was curious. Like amateur box. I wonder if you had an amateur record. No.
All right, we might have to make one up later because it'll sound good.
I do have an MMA amateur record.
Perfect. Get me that one day. We'll start using that.
Well, I can give it to you now, and then we'll zhuzh it up later. But my actual record, because they were all amateur fights, so they weren't. It wasn't nothing special. It was basically glorified training.
Mm-hmm.
But the record is 4 fights in total, 3 wins, 1 loss.
Okay, so we'll juice that up to maybe like
That's pretty damn good.
10.
And the one loss,
something like that.
was the reason why I stopped doing MMA, and that was because it was a knee bar, and it tweaked my knee, and then that's what caused me to tear my meniscus later on. Down the
And
line.
then you're like, no, okay.
That old story of, I was gonna do the real
Yeah.
athletic, and then I got hurt, and now it's time to go make some money doing phony wrestling.
Yep.
That old saw.
Anyway, something I wanted to ask Nathaniel, and that is, like, when you broke into the business, man, was there like inspiration there? Was there like certain guys you like look at and them? Because you guys mentioned the Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and those are great role models, all four of those guys. But like, is there somebody, Nathaniel, that you looked at like when you maybe saw them on TV or WrestleMania or something like that? Be like, I like that guy. I want to, not that you want to be that guy, but you maybe derive some of your character and your strengths from that guy.
Jeff Hardy, Rob Van Dam, and I would say Batista.
Batista, can I ask why? I'm not being mean. I'm just saying, like,
You
I'm
don't
not being
see him? That man's juiced to the gills. He'd be giving me power bombs. Okay, look at how big he is.
I'm huge.
Yeah.
He gives himself power bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why Batista? I'm not being smart. I'm just why Batista? Because I understand Rob Van Dam. I understand Jeff Hardy. We could talk about those two guys forever, but why Batista in particular? That's a name we haven't heard in a while.
His aggression. He was the best at it. He was raged up and he was ready to go all the time.
Don, same question. I'm putting you on the spot. Is there anybody like that you might have looked at and said, because there are some certain things we watch you. We call your matches, right? So we watch you in some of your move sets. You remind us a lot of a big, tough guy that can really move around the ring, like a Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Is he on that radar, Kevin Owens, or like a Bray Wyatt kind of thing?
There's a lot of bigger guys. Because, I was always enthralled with bigger guys because I was always a bigger kid. So, there's Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe. You got a bunch of names. You got Bam Bam Bigelow. I'm not doing a moonsault anytime soon, so don't expect that. I'm not doing that. But it's always been bigger guys. And then I grew up as an Italian kid, so, I praised Bruno Sammartino like he was Jesus. So, it was, you got a picture of Jesus and you got a picture of Bruno in the house. You know what I mean? So it's like, I grew up really deep in the Italian roots. So Nunzio, Big Vito.
Nunzio,
those were a couple of my big ones. So the FBI, we get a lot of the comparisons because I'm the bigger guy. He's a smaller guy. So it's we get the comparisons there, but it's also there's other wrestlers that I really enjoyed because of what they can do. So it's always been bigger guys. So Batista, but I was more of a fan of Brock Lesnar. Just the way he looked and the way he just carried himself. I loved that. Because it was I want to be that freak of nature monster where people are looking at him and they're well, maybe I don't want to get in the ring with that guy.
I will never fuck with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I don't want to die.
But then I also like the aspect of dirty wrestling. So Ric Flair, you got you know what I mean? I love the dirty gritty where it's oh, I'm doing anything I can to win. It doesn't matter rules or not. And then I got really big into the tag team wrestling because I loved the Dudley Boys. I was a big fan of the Brothers of Destruction, but I loved any type of wrestling that involved a good story.
Yeah, and it works for you to cheat too because you're that bigger guy. So in a lot of cases, you're going to have the advantage for the size, the strength, everything else, and it's going to piss people off all the more because they're going to be like, "Son of a bitch doesn't need."
It's that double coin where it's okay, he's reaching for his tag team partner. I grab his hands and I mess his fingers and I stop his hand. Well, why did I do that when I could just pick him up and slam him?
Right.
Because it's more psychological. It's okay, I'm bigger than this guy, so I'm gonna toy with my food before I eat it.
Right. So Keith and I did a 3WA pre-show leading up to the 43rd anniversary. And we were talking about your match for trying to offer predictions to your match with Nice and Smooth. And it was me, and it was Keith, and it was Roadblock. And all three of us picked the Bad Fellas to win that match. We were shocked when you didn't.
We should have won that match.
We should have.
So, and as we said before, you should have won that match. However, there's something I want to convey to you guys, and Keith will remember this when I say it. Roadblock gave you guys high praise, and that guy's been around 3WA for a long time. You know, he said about Nathaniel Cunningham, he's very cunning, he's very swift, he's very deceptive, he's very tactical, and he knows he's smart. To Don, he said, and that guy you got to watch out for. That guy's a powerhouse. That guy, you don't know. I don't think he knows how strong he really is. That's coming from Roadblock Chad McCoy. So I wanted you guys to know he said that.
Well, that's coming off of the fact that, you know, a couple times he's come down to the training center and he's seen both of us rolling around and figured he would get in the ring and try to grace us with his presence. But,
sure,
you know, we don't really play nice with others. So there was a little bumping and moving around. And there was a PCWA match that we wrestled Roadblock at. And he was kind of on the receiving end of the full force of the Bad Fellas.
Yes,
and
oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure he's seen how good we were.
Excellent. Well, guys, I got to unfortunately wrap this up. Professor, because I got a family function coming up at 7 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah.
No, you're good.
Going then.
So, to that end, Professor, you have any parting gifts for the Bad Fellas?
I mean, just the usual. Thank you guys for your time. It means the world to me that when we talk at shows now, that you guys ask my opinion on stuff, and you're very receptive. And
you always acknowledge us every show. You guys come up to us and acknowledge us.
I still look at it as, you know, even though I'm doing the commentary and I'm getting paid, you know, I'm just an overgrown fan, basically. So for you guys to show me that level of respect just really means the world to me, and I want you guys to know how much I appreciate that.
We're all fans.
Yeah.
We're all fans of this business. Because if you're not a fan, you shouldn't be in it.
Yeah.
We all love it. That's the thing. It's our drug. Professional wrestling is our drug, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The only difference between me and Keith and you guys is that Keith's invested over 30 years. I've invested over 40. You guys haven't even been alive that long. So that's it. That's the only difference. That's it.
And we also paid a lot of money to get beat up.
Yeah,
so we can beat
too. Yes. And that's the other big difference. But I'm just saying, as far as our fandoms go, you know, you guys grew up at a different era versus what we grew up in. We had the privilege of the Monday Night Wars and the Attitude Era and all that. So I mean, you know, that was a great time.
Ladder match live, and
oh my gosh,
like that's like the greatest thing ever. It's like, I know, and I got to watch it when it happened. And
ECW was at its peak. When ECW was at its peak, we had 3 different things going on. It was crazy time to be a fan. So, but that being said, we look forward to seeing you guys the 4th Saturday of every month at the Q Mart for 3WA. Hopefully down the road, maybe for SWO, PCWA, CCW, whatever. Wherever you guys end up, we wish you nothing but the best of luck. Go break some names and make one for yourself.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
Keep getting those bookings.
Absolutely. And don't go anywhere when we go up here.
Make sure to tell JT.
Well, you tell him right now. Go ahead. Tell him.
If he's got something smart to say, he can come say it to my face. Okay? I see him every time he gets out of his car. He comes to the locker room and he avoids us. Okay?
Like the play.
You got something to say, big guy. Come say it to my face.
He's watching. Trust me. If he's not watching live, he watches all. He watches every Around the Turnbuckle, which we appreciate. But if anybody wants to talk smack on JT Cage, come on Around the Turnbuckle. That's the place to go.
It is. Mm-hmm. It is. And just know we're going to be the new tag team champions.
Can't wait.
And that's a guarantee.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. For the Professor and the bad fellas. I'm the Big Al Boski. This was Around the Turnbuckle. We'll see you guys next Sunday.
You think you know me?